Hello, everyone, and welcome to Them Creative's first podcast. We don't have any names figured out for this podcast yet, so for the time being, we're just going with Them Creative's podcast, which is the least creative name we could come up with for our first podcast, but it is what it is. So at Them Creative, we are all about digital advertising. We love the data, and we love the fact that you don't burn any marketing dollars, generally speaking, when you're advertising in the digital space, which is what brings us to our topic for today. There's been something that's come up over the past couple of months here that we've been getting a lot of questions about here at the agency, and we have been doing actually a lot of research looking into ways to kind of navigate this new obstacle that's been put in front of us, been put in front of everybody who's advertising in the digital space, and that is that bots are being implemented now that are effectively stealing your online advertising budget from you. So the gist of it is that websites online are sending bots to their site to trick their analytics into thinking that their site has an incredible amount of traffic going to it and that there are people spending a lot of time clicking through their site, which is making it possible for them to get people to spend advertising money on their sites. So effectively then what happens is your budget is being spent on a site which is generating you no traffic. The engagement is not there, and it's been something that has kind of stood as a roadblock for many digital advertisers recently. That's been something that we haven't had to deal with in the past, and it's kind of been in conflict with one of the main things that we offer, which is the ability to not waste any of your ad spend on wasted traffic like that. Traffic that often comes with traditional advertising tactics. Not always, but sometimes. So this has been something that we've been digging into, doing a lot of research into. A couple of the things that we found here that can help to sort of navigate yourself away from the bot-derived traffic is to be very, very, very precise in your targeting. This is always something that is of the utmost importance in marketing and in advertising, but it's often a place that's overlooked, and a lot of money can be wasted in poorly targeting your ads. And that also has a lot to do with this problem as well, in that if you're poorly targeting your ads are more likely to appear on sites that are populated by bots. So basically, the more specifically you're able to target your ads, the better they'll perform in general, but also the likelihood of your ads being populated on sites that are swarmed with bots decreases quite a bit. So being as precise as possible in your targeting is critical in trying to navigate your advertising and your marketing around these bots so that you aren't wasting any money on traffic that's not real. There's a lot you can also do in analyzing the data that you collect as you advertise. Working without things like a customer lifetime value is something that could end up hurting you. But on the flip side of that, if you are tracking things like your client's lifetime value over any particular period of retention, and then those are things that you can be paying attention to that ultimately determine the success of your advertising campaigns anyway. So if you're tracking things like that, then you should be able to tell where your ads are performing well and where they're not, and pull money out of places they are not performing well and put more money into the places they are performing well. That will also kind of move you away from any kind of bot-driven traffic that's going to be wasting any advertising spend for your business. A lot of diving into data, finding out where your money is being spent effectively and where it's not is what we're having to pay a lot more attention to now, knowing that there are bots out there populating sites that are generating advertising revenue for those sites, but it's based on no real traffic whatsoever. So paying very close attention to your analytics and your data and seeing where things are is becoming more critical. which is opening up a new realm for AI to be utilized in advertising. By implementing artificial intelligence here, you can analyze the data that you're acquiring as you're running your ads more effectively and much more in depth. You can analyze every user, every bit of traffic, every bit of engagement, every bit of everything with this AI software that's, I think, gonna start becoming implemented more and more into advertising campaigns, especially on the internet, which will in turn make bots less of an issue because we'll be able to see where they are and where they aren't and just pull money out of the places they are and put more money into the places they are not. We just thought that this was a very interesting topic because a lot of the times when we're meeting with clients, their biggest question to us is always, well, what's the benefit to advertising with you in the digital space rather than in traditional media like television or radio or billboards? And our answer to them is always that you're not burning any of your advertising spend when you're putting it into the digital space. Meaning that, for example, when you're running a television commercial, you can target television commercials for sure. There's no question about that. But you're spending a lot more money to reach a much more broad audience, a less targeted audience, so that the percentage of people who care about the message you're telling them is going to be significantly smaller given the size of that audience, whereas in digital advertising, you only spend money on the people who it matters to, and you're able to track that very effectively and target people very specifically. So that's the main difference, and that's the main difference in what sets us apart from agencies that primarily focus in the traditional media. So this has been something that we've been asked about quite a bit. We've been having to do a lot of research into ways around this, and it's something that's good to see that there are ways around. It just takes a tad bit more work, and with technologies like artificial intelligence kind of picking up steam, things are gonna hopefully sooner rather than later get back to a place that's not infested with bots that are effectively making it so that you are wasting some of your advertising budget in the digital space, because that's the opposite of the way that it should be. So thanks for listening. We're excited to be producing this podcast. We hope that we can get a couple of these out on a monthly basis here to start. We're going to try to find our footing producing these podcasts, find valuable information that you might want to tune in to listen to. We're looking forward to it. So thanks a lot for listening. We will catch you next time.